Welcome to my YouTube channel. Stay with me while I show you how to make this beautiful and gorgeous bubu. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Welcome to class. So we are going to be using 3.5 yards of this damask fabric and half yard of this sequin fabric. So here is how to fold your fabric. So let's assume this is the 3.5 yard. Remember I told you that I'm using 3.5 yard for this tutorial. So this is 3.5 yard of fabric. From here to here is 3.5 yard. Then here, from here to here is the depth. So the depth of the fabric I'm working with is 60. So if you are using an Ankara fabric, it will be smaller. Hope you get it, will be shorter. So how you are going to fold it now, you will fold like this. The 3.5 yards, you are going to fold it like so. Hope you get. This part is your selvage, this part is your selvage. Hope you get. Then after folding, you are then going to fold it like this. So from here to here is the length, from here to here is the width. Hope you get. So this is where I'm going to be inserting my shoulder measurements, and from here to here is the length of the dress for my client. Hope you understand. So here are the two ends. I'm placing them together and I'm just going to spread it out like so, and I will fold again. I'll arrange it properly, and the next thing I will do is to insert my measurements. So first off, I want to take the length of my dress to see if what I have is going to be enough. Mind you, I am cutting the front and the back at the same time, okay? After inserting the length, I'm going to be inserting my shoulder measurement. So the shoulder I'm working with is 17 inches. Half of it is 8.5, and that is what I've marked out. So the other space we have is going to be for our sleeve. You know, for the sleeve, we are going to be attaching an elastic to it. So you want it long so that when you pull it up, it's going to have enough volume. So the space I have left after marking out my shoulder is about 25 inches, which is just perfect. If you're using an Ankara fabric, it might not be up to, so you can decide to add an additional fabric. All right, so the next thing I'm going to be marking is my neckline. So the neckline I'm working with is 3.5 by 1 inch. That is for the back. Then for the front, it's going to be 3.5 by 7 or 8 inches, depending. Remember, there is no zipper, so you want to use a neckline that your head can pass through. So for the front, I'm going to be connecting the neckline in a V shape, and for the back is just round, okay? At the end of my fabric here, I'm going to be coming down by 2 inches for my shoulder slope. So I'll connect these 2 inches all the way to the neckline. So after doing that, I will insert my round sleeve measurement. So I'm making use of 12 inches, but because we are adding a balloon, I'm going to be multiplying the 12 inches by 2, that is 24. But then I mark 20 inches here. So the next thing I will do, I will come inward from that mark, from the sleeve opening mark. I will come inwards by 5 inches. You can do 5 inches, you can do 6 inches, okay? So I'll come inwards by 5 inches like so, and I'm just going to connect just as you can see. I will insert my shoulder to knee measurements, and I'm making use of 40 inches. After marking the 40 inches, I'm going to come upwards with 4 inches and I will mark. So on that 4 inches that I came upward with, I'm going to be inserting my hip measurements divided by 4. So I'm making use of 47 inches for my hip. 47 inches divided by 4 plus 4 inches is allowance. I have 50.75. So for the M, I'm going to be subtracting 1.5 and I will mark what I have. So after which I'm going to connect all of my markings together, as you can see. So on the knee, I am going to form my curl shape to that 5 inches that I marked in earlier. Hope you get. So here is what I have so far. I am done with the drafting. The next thing I'm going to do now is to cut her. So I'm just showing you a view of what we have so far. So first off, I am going to be cutting the back neckline. Remember, this is the front and back piece that we drafted out together, right? So I'm going to be cutting the back neckline of 1 inch, I am going to be cutting the sides as well. So when I'm done cutting, I will separate the back from the front so that I can cut the front. Remember, the shape for the neckline of the front is different from that of the back. So that is what I am going to do now. Also, make sure you notch the midpoint of the neckline. So here I have separated the back neckline, the back piece. This is the front piece. I am just going to trim off the neckline, just as you can see. So I'll get my sequin fabric. I already added stay to it, and I am going to place it on fold. So remember, the center piece is on fold, so place the sequin, place it on fold, aligning with the folded part of the fabric as well. And I will cut out the shape of the neckline, which is the V shape. So after cutting out the V shape, I'll cut the shoulder line as well, and I am going to measure 3 inches from the top right to the bottom. Another thing too, you should make sure that the sequin fabric is as long as the dress. Okay, so after marking the 3 inches, I am just going to cut it out following the markings that I have made. So this is what we have by the time we are done cutting. The next thing I'm going to do now is to get another piece and fold it to cut the facing for the back. So I'll align the folded part of the piece and the folded part of my bodice and follow the neckline like so. I'll raise it up and I'll measure 4 inches down. Then at the shoulder part, it can be 3 inches. Okay, then I'm just going to cut it out to get my facing. So I'll cut it out like so, cut, and then it is time to start sewing. To sew, just place the back facing on the back piece, right side facing each other, and sew with 1/2 inch. So this is the right side of my fabric, right side of my facing, right side facing each other. Sew with 1/2 inch, notch and trim off the excesses, flip and then iron flat. So that is what I did to this back piece. For the front, I will take my front facing. Remember, we are using this sequin fabric for the facing. I'm going to place the right side of the sequin to the wrong side of my fabric, and I will align with my paints. Now you should work with your paints if you are using this sequin fabric. Despite the fact that I use interfacing to stabilize it, it is still not very stable. So please work with your paints, okay? So after holding with my paint, I will take it to the sewing machine and sew 1/2 inch sewing allowance. I'm sewing from the fabric parts because the sequin is kind of stretchy. Okay, so sew from the fabric parts. Remember, we are sewing 1/2 inch. Yeah, I'm done sewing it now, so I'm just going to notch. So notch just like you can see me doing, and cut off the excesses. So cut off 0.25 inches, and after which you're going to flip to the right side and give it a very good press. So flip it to the right side, give it a very good press, and make sure you centralize the sequin fabric. Okay, you know it's at the middle of the gown. So here I've given it a very good press, and you can see that I centralized it. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I will use my pins to hold the sequin fabric in place. So I am just going to hold it in place with the pins right to the bottom part, so that it doesn't shift, it doesn't move. After doing that, I'm going to mark out where my slit is going to start from. So from my shoulder to where my slit will start from is 43 inches. So that is what I am going to mark out. After marking it out, you are going to get the midpoint, and then you take the midpoint from that point that you marked to the hem of the dress. Okay, continue taking the midpoint to the hem of the dress. After taking the midpoint, connect the points together, and you're going to get your scissors and you will cut through. Now you are going to cut through to that point, that 43 inches you marked. That is where the slit is going to start from. What you're going to do next is to sew the slit. So you're going to sew just like you did for the neckline. You place right side of the sequin fabric facing the wrong side of the main fabric. Hope you get. Just follow what I'm doing. Then you're going to hold with your pins. Hold with your pins all round, right to the other side. This might look tricky, but trust me, it is very simple to sew. So I'm holding the other side now, and for this mid part, you are going to also do the same thing. Remember, the right side of the sequin fabric facing the wrong side of your main fabric. So hold and then take it to your sewing machine and sew. So when you are sewing, you are going to be positioning the fabric part facing you. Do not sew on the sequin side. Like I said, the sequin is a stretchy fabric. It's very stretchy. Okay, so we sew on the fabric. I'm done sewing it. The next thing I'm going to do is to take it to the ironing table and give it a very good press. Now you're going to get your hemming gum. As you're ironing as well, get your hemming gum. You will fold the edge of the sequin fabric. Can you see? You fold the edge inwards and place your hemming gum underneath like so to stick it to the main fabric. Can you see? You place it and stick it to the main fabric. So what I'm going to do on this table, I'm just going to arrange it. I'll take in the half inch. I'll take the half inch inside so that I can put the hemming gum. I will use my pins to hold it in place so that when I take it to the ironing table, I am just going to place my iron on it and it will stick to the fabric. I hope you understand. So you will do this from the top to the bottom on both sides of the sequin fabric. When you're done, you will take it to the sewing machine and do your top stitching on it. So the hemming gum you added is going to make it to be very stable, and you can do your top stitching on the sequin fabric with ease. So here I am done doing that. I've ironed it, I've done my top stitching, so it's time to attach the back piece to it. So place the back and front right side facing each other, align the necklines, the shoulder, and then you're going to sew. So place the back and front neckline like so, hold with your pin, do the same thing to the other side, take it to the sewing machine and you sew from the neckline down, sew from this other neckline down as well. So here I'm done sewing it. Give it a very good press when you're done sewing. Get the sequin fabric for the sleeve. You know you have a sequin fabric for the sleeve as well. You are going to cut about 3 inches or 4 inches depending on how wide you want it to be. And the length is going to be as long as your neckline to the length of the sleeve. So you're going to fold in ½ inch and you are also going to use your hemming gum to hold it in place and do your top stitching on it just like you did for the front facing. So here I am done. For the sleeve opening, you are going to sew the elastic casing. So I've sewn the elastic casing as well. I'm going to be getting this elastic and I will use my safety pin to pass it all through. So when you use your safety pin, you are going to do your round sleeve minus 4 inches depending on the elasticity of the elastic you are using, because all elastic doesn't stretch the same way. Okay, so when you have done with sewing the elastic casing, fix in your elastic and your sleeve is ready. So here I have done that. Now you can take it to your sewing machine and sew the sides afterwards. So I also went ahead to sew the sides. Can you see? So I have sewn the sides. This is very easy. By the time you start sewing, you will see that it is very easy. Go ahead and also hem the bottom part of the dress. So after doing that, you know the waist of this dress is snatched. It's a bubu that has a snatched waist. So I'm going to measure from my shoulder to 17 inches. That is the measurement from my shoulder to waist. So my shoulder to waist is 17 inches. I just marked that out. Now you can see that there is a crease line. So this crease line indicates the middle part of my front. So I'm going to divide my waist measurement into 4, and then I will take that measurement on both sides of the line, of the crease line. Did you see the way I position my tape? That is what you should do. So you mark it out, and then you will get a strip of fabric. The strip of fabric can be as long as you want. Let it be as long as you want so that you can be able to tie it behind you. So this is about 37 inches. You can do more, you can do less, okay? But 30 to 37 is just fine. Even 30 inches is still fine. So I'm going to, it's 3 inches wide. So you're going to fold the both ends like so, do a rolled end, and then you will seal it off. Then you are going to fold one side. Just watch me. You fold in ½ inch here. Can you see? ½ inch on the other side. Then you place them together like so, and you top stitch. So you do that, keep doing that till you get to the end of the strip. Then when you're done sewing, position each of the strips on the mark that you made. You know you are cutting 2 strips, right? So position each of them on the mark that you made and do your top stitching on it. This will give you that snatch effect. So this is what we have so far. This is our dress. It's ready. So in case you have any questions, do want to drop it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like this video, share, and do want to subscribe to my channel. Until I see you in my next video. Bye bye.